Hey guys, what's good? Hope everybody's doing well, and it's time for a video I have wanted to make for a long time. A comparison video comparing Omega's Seamaster Professional versus the Omega Submariner, a fight to the death. First things first, let's set the time on these. I think you can learn a lot about a watch by how well or how easy it is to set the time and what that feels like. So let's check our reference. So I've got a beautiful 47 millimeter Panerai 305. Looks like it's about 7:05 on the 26th. And so let's get in here. So first the sub, chunky crown. You can see the trip lock design. Just really awesome. Let's give it a few winds, wake it up. First position, we'll do the quick set date. So let's see here now. I'm going to go to 25 and then advance it to 26. And so we'll go out one more. Just really firm clicks, like feels really good, really solid. And let's see, there's the date change. And so we said it was about, let's check the time one more time. It is about 7:05. So let's see here, we'll go past the 12. And it just feels really solid, you know. The turn is solid. It's got good tactile feet. Again, you can see the trip lock crown there with the O-ring gasket. And so 7:05. Put it back in. Few more winds and let's see how it closes. Yeah, really good action, solid feel, no drama. And so all right, we've got that set. And now the Omega. Notice I've got it on this simple rubber strap because it had water duty, and so you know, I had it on the strap. So let's try this crown. A little smaller, but still good feel. Not as firm, not as tight as the crown on the sub, but really good. Good winding feel, very subtle. Let me see here now. The date is at, hang on a second, the 22nd. That's one thing that you can see immediately is a difference on these watches, and maybe it's because of the Cyclops. Just the date is hard to read on the Seamaster, but all right, so it's on the 22nd. So let's try to move that out. First position. So let's see here. 23, 24, 25, and then let's try to move it out. Okay. Winding feel is good. Hands move really easily. It's a solid tactile feel. You feel like you're in control of the hands, if that makes sense. Like sometimes watches have a really loose crown, and neither of these watches has that. The crown is really good. And there's the date change there. And so the time is now a little past 7:05, so we'll get there. The hands are so nice on this one. I really like them. Don't be worried about legibility on the hands on the Seamaster. They're really cool. They look really good, and they really kind of make the watch. So let's see, a little past 7:05, about right there. Push it in. Feels good. Not as maybe robust as the Rolex crown, but not bad. And then let's see what the winding is. Not as many threads to wind on this one. A little harder to grab in there, but not too bad. Not too bad. Hang on, let me just, there you go. It's solid. It's solid. I would definitely say on wind, you know, you can just see right there how much larger the Submariner's crown is. Now this is the 116610, the previous edition of the Rolex Submariner. So this is a 40 millimeter watch in diameter, whereas the Seamaster is 42 millimeters. You can see the difference too. I mean, you can see that the Seamaster's dial is larger. Let's look at them side to side. They're about the same thickness. The Rolex is probably a little bit thicker. But I like them both. I think there's plenty of room for both of these watches in a collection. Now, obviously, I've got this on a rubber strap, and I bought it on the rubber strap. That's not even an option for a Submariner. You can get this on a bracelet, of course. I just don't happen to have that. Let's try the bezels. Let's see how those work, or compare the two. Notice that this one Both have 300 meters water resistance, but this one has a helium escape valve, a screw down valve. The Rolex Submariner doesn't have one, but it has the same water resistance. So let's see. This bezel, listen carefully. Good action. No teeth. It's got a scallop style bezel, but easy to turn. We'll leave it at 120 clicks, just like the Sub. And let's try this one. So you can see a little bit of a difference. The Sub has more, I guess, subtle detents. The Seamaster has more firm detents. Both are excellent. Both are easy to turn. Sub maybe a tiny bit easier because it has a more traditional layout, design of the bezel. The teeth really make it easy to just grab on there. But both are really easy to use, really easy to work. Weight wise, you know, it's hard to make that comparison in this video because I've got this on a rubber strap and this on a bracelet, but I love them both. I think they're great watches, and as I said before, there's definitely room in any collection for both of these really, really iconic watches. You know, you have more options with the Seamaster though. You know, you have different dials, you have the rubber bracelet versus a metal bracelet. You have different sizes, different metals, whereas the Sub is kind of like just a Sub. And so there's definitely more room for individualization and kind of customizing your style when it comes to the Omega. Whereas the Submariner, you have a couple of different metal options. You know, you have steel and gold, all gold. You have blue or black dials. You know, you have the green, obviously, but you have many more options with the Omega. Let's try these both on wrist. I know that's what y'all are here for, just to kind of compare those two. Give me a second. I'll be right back, okay? All right, guys, I'm back, and let's try these on wrist. So we'll try both of them, of course, back to back. Let me take this massive Panerai off. God, I love this watch. I've just been wearing the heck out of this thing. This is a Panerai 305, the 47 millimeter submersible and all titanium, the original one they released. Okay, enough about this watch. Awesome watch. Look forward to making a video for y'all about this one. All right, let's try why don't we try the Seamaster on first. This is the watch I acquired most recently. I traded the, what did I trade? The Zen U50 plus quite a bit of cash to get the Omega. Please check out my dedicated review of the Seamaster, and you can get a lot more information about it. But that's how it looks like on the wrist. I really like it. You know, it's very easy to wear. I like it on the rubber. I'll be honest, I love it on the rubber. The Omega rubber strap is good. It's got a 20 millimeter lug width, so it's really easy to change straps. But man, the watch feels so comfortable on the rubber strap. I think rubber is the move for this watch. It's a little bit less expensive. You can really customize the straps very easily. Omega's rubber strap that they come with, that the watch is included with, is just awesome. So I would say rubber is the move on the Seamaster, and there you can see it on my wrist. It's comfortable. It's low profile. It's very legible though, and it's just a really cool, easy watch to wear. You know, you can see the bezel action when it's on the wrist. Easy to turn, just real simple. This has had water duty, you know, and it works really well. It's just really easy to wear, very legible, very easy to work with. Again, the only niggle I would say on the legibility on this one, the date is not very easy to read. And maybe I'm just getting old. My eyes aren't what they used to be. But a Cyclops there, I know that's sacrilege, but a Cyclops there would really help me out. A larger date window. Or, you know, they have an even larger version. I mean, this is the 42 millimeter version. There's a 43 millimeter version that's made out of ceramic. There's also one, I think, in titanium. There's also one in like gold and tantalum, actually. It's a 43 millimeter version, same 300 meter water resistance. It's a little bit larger, but it doesn't have a date. So that's so again, it's another option for the you know, for the Seamaster. So that's what it looks like on the wrist. I really like it. Great looking watch. Let me take it off. I'll be honest, I honestly like the Seamaster a lot more than I thought I would. You know, I'm not a big Omega fan. I think generally speaking, their watches are really, really overrated. But But that's just, my personal bias maybe against the brand. If I have to see one more Speedmaster special edition, but listen, sorry, I'm like rambling, I'm like ranting. But I was really surprised by the Seamaster. I mean, props to Omega for making a really awesome watch, a really good upgrade to the former version of this watch, which is excellent. I mean, I made a video of the 2254 Peter Blake that I thought was going to be the quintessential Seamaster. This version better. This version definitely better, more comfortable, more premium, and I think the white dial 100%. I mean, I would 100% go with the white dial. I think that's the one to get. All right, so that's the Seamaster. Love the watch. Love the watch. Let's try the Submariner. Hard to say anything about this watch that hasn't already been said, like, for the last 50 years. I mean, it's an awesome watch. It hasn't changed a lot. And it is, for all intents and purposes, the quintessential men's watch. If you want a single watch, and this would be your watch to wear, I would say Sub. I mean, it's just the watch. It will never go out of style. It hasn't changed a lot. It looks about the same as it's ever looked, and it fits well. It looks easy on the wrist. It looks stylish, but it doesn't look like it's trying too hard. You know what I mean? I'm not wearing like my yellow gold Day Date 40, which is just like bling on a stick. This is just a Sub, man. I mean, it can be dressed up or dressed down, and it's the quintessential men's watch. So it's really hard for watches, I think, to compete with that Rolex Submariner cachet. It's just so ingrained, and so many watches try to emulate the look or emulate the style. So that's what it looks like on the wrist. Just really easy to wear. I mean, I can't give this watch enough superlatives. This is the previous version, though. There's a newer version, which is a little larger. Instead of 40 millimeters, it's 41 millimeters. It's got a little wider bracelet. It's got better power reserve. So this watch versus the Seamaster, definitely the Seamaster has a better movement. Now, compared to Rolex's current version Submariner, I think that's more of a wash. I think both watches have awesome power reserve, and just great stats, you know what I mean? So they compare much more favorably. But this Seamaster outclasses this Submariner, I think, in movement. Another big difference is, look, my Seamaster has a see-through case back, so I can see the movement. All Subs, they have solid case backs. So there you see both watches side by side, and this is not an either-or video. You guys know I have a lot of watches. I go through them very quickly sometimes, but I'll be honest, I mean, the Seamaster has hung around. I think about other watches in that $4,000 price range, and I can't think of anything that I would rather have. I think about watches half of that. I mean, like would I rather have two $2,000 watches, like two U50s versus the Seamaster? And I'd much rather have the Seamaster. It is a really good watch. My point being is, if your budget is around $4,000, $4,500, $5,000, instead of buying a $2,000 or $2,500 watch, it's probably worth your while to save your money and go all the way up to a Seamaster. You get a lot more watch, much more than double the watch of something at half the price. The Sub, so I'm telling you that the Seamaster is around, $4,000, $3,750 on the rubber, maybe $4,500 for a full set on bracelet. I mean, this Sub, I mean, even at current prices, I mean, we're looking at, I don't know, man, $12,000, $13,000, $14,000. It's a lot of money. It's more than double the Seamaster. Is it more than double the watch, though? It's such a hard thing to say. I mean, it really is. If of course, if I had to choose between these two, if they said, hey, this is your, gun to your head, this is the last watch you're going to be able to wear, I think anybody in their right mind would take a Submariner. It's just the style is correct, the look is correct. The watch is so iconic. But you know, for someone like me that has a lot of watches that wants to try different things, I think there's plenty of room for both of these watches in a large collection. I really enjoy wearing my Seamaster. I think part of that is the dial. It's so different. It's so unique. The black and white look is so cool on this watch that I like this watch a lot more than I thought it would, and it compares much more favorably to Rolex than any other Omega I can think of. I had a Speedmaster, the latest version of the watch. Listen, man, with all due respect to people that are like really into this Omega and Speedmasters and all that mythology, it's not even vaguely the same thing as a Daytona. It's a nice watch, man. It's a nice watch, but it's not even. It's an unfair comparison to the Omega to even put it in that same breath as a Daytona. But the Seamaster versus a Submariner, all of a sudden, I mean, it becomes debatable, you know. It's just that Omega did such a good job with the Seamaster. They upgraded it. They made it much more luxurious, but they didn't make it like a one-off thing. They didn't make it like something that was like a flash in the pan. Like, this watch is going to look just as good next year, year after year after. It's not flashy. It's not blingy. It has a lot of upgraded materials, but the style is iconic. It's timeless. And I think there's a lot, like I said, a lot of room for both watches in the collection. Well, as always, guys, you know I'm rambling. I really wanted to make this video for a while. I guess my conclusion after owning both watches, after enjoying and wearing both watches for a while now, my conclusion is that, gosh, man, Omega made a really good watch with the Seamaster. It really does favor comparably to the Rolex Submariner. I think that, like I said, if you have a budget of $5,000, $4,000, I think this would be the watch that I would recommend you get. There's a lot of different dial colors, a lot of different like metals. There's a lot of different, you know, you can get the rubber, you can get the bracelet, but I would save your money and get a Seamaster. Like, I think it's a much better watch than two watches at half the price. The sub is a sub, you know what I mean? This watch has been with me for a very long time. It will continue to be with me for a very long time. But I really like the Seamaster. I think it looks really cool. Not only looking cool, because that can like get old in a hurry, it does what it's supposed to do, and it's noticeable without being gaudy, flashy, or just kind of like a one-trick pony. All right, I'm sorry, guys. I'm rambling. I hope you like this quick look at two really iconic dive watches. I love these both. They're both in my collection. Look forward to enjoying them both for a while. Guys, love y'all. Take care. Be safe, right? Be blessed. Stay easy and stay healthy. And I'm going to come at y'all with some more videos, maybe a closer look at this absolute behemoth, the Panerai 47mm submersible rad watch. All right, guys, take care. God bless. See you soon. Bye.